we built a project pipeline of more than 200 megawatts, did reasonably good over 2 years since. However, when we started seeing that how the EVs are growing in India, our perspective was, as you mentioned, coming from Bihar. The passion took me to a rooftop solar.
Good day, everyone. This is Maxson Lewis, your host on Maxson Mobility, with a very special guest with us today, Ashish Dokania, founder of Green Tiger. Ashish, welcome to Maxson Mobility. So, welcome to this hot seat, as I like to call it.
Thanks, Max.
And how I would want to kind of start off is quickly by just try to put pieces of your past together and try to see where you are, how you came and like that. So, Ashish, you are from Bihar and you are a CA, and now you're an entrepreneur. So, can you take me through your journey? How did you land up becoming an entrepreneur in the EV space?
So, I did my master's from NDA Gurgaon, and after that, era of 2003, 2005, when everybody was looking for a good job at the campus, I was one of them, and wanted to start in banking. So got into banks, worked across banking sector, and the last one I worked with TVS Bank. But while in banking, I was always fascinated with the infrastructure projects which go across. So while I was in banking, but my heart was really about infrastructure development.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got this opportunity with Shapoorji Pallonji Group, where especially in Sterling Woodsey, to join the industry and see, or rather make an impact from inside, rather than being a supporter as a banker, I took that opportunity. And there I started working, the passion took me to a rooftop solar to start with. And then we started, a company called Transtel Utilities in UK. And the perspective of that company was, how do we kind of balance the grid? Because moreover, what we are seeing is that the distribution network is becoming more and more constrained, because the demand is enhancing as the petrol demand is shifting to electric vehicles. At the same time, the supply is becoming more intermittent, because from a baseload power plant, we are shifting more towards renewable, which is making the grid unstable. And this is what the business of Transtel was. We built a project pipeline of more than 200 megawatts, did reasonably good over 2 years since. However, when we started seeing that how the EVs are growing in India, our perspective was, as you mentioned, coming from Bihar. We have always lived in that era where electricity was uncertain, right? And we always used to pack it with a generator, right? And very simply, learnings of Transtel and UK to the upbringing of Bihar, we thought, why can't we have an electric vehicle which is petrol engine as a backup, so that people don't have range anxiety? And that's where Green Tiger was born.
Also, so CA, MBA, banking, infrastructure. And I also understand that you were an entrepreneur even before all of this started, right? So tell me about that. So I don't want to miss that part of your introduction.
So started a company in Bangalore itself when I was 21.
Right.
Basically, I come from a business background, business family. So in the families in that era, it used to be like, if you're coming from a business family, you need to try something out.
Right.
So whether you succeed or fail, it doesn't matter. Trying is important.
Wow.
And that's where I just graduated 2000, and that is the time I was asked to start. And then I was in Bangalore, started a business around silk trading. It did not last for long. It was for 8 months or 10 months, largely, not too long. But I think the learnings which I got in those 8 to 10 months had shaped a large part of my career.
Yeah.
The entire, I would say, the instinct which was telling me to move towards infrastructure or entrepreneurship right while I was packing, I think it emanates from the first episode or first stint which I did as an entrepreneur way back.
So we are going to get down to one piece around your entrepreneurship journey as an entrepreneur. Because it's a lot of, while it's a lot about journey and mobility, it's also a lot about entrepreneurial journey. And I want to talk to you about both your entrepreneurship journeys. But let's talk about being driver. What exactly is being driver? What are you trying to do? Because on your website, one thing which caught my attention was iHybrid. They're not even hybrid. And hybrid two-wheeler at that. So this caught my attention. And you have to tell us what area are you up to at the Tiger with this?
So, a very interesting point, Max. And just to let you know, when we started this journey, we saw that the mindset of the consumer was towards electric vehicle was not there. This is 2021, 22, even today. Now, the customer, when the mindset is not there, they come out and state their resistance to buy a electric vehicle through multiple options. So they may say, I have a range anxiety. But essentially, it's not range anxiety. It's like their total mind to adopt to electric vehicle is not there. It's like if you have to watch a movie which you are not very comfortable with, you may say, I don't have time. This slot is not there, or the theater is too far from my home, whatever. But these are all like the build-ups. The intent is your heart is not there. So and actually coming from the roots helped me. When we started evaluating, especially in areas such as Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, and we started talking, we started getting very interesting points. Okay, one of the customer we spoke about in 2020 October is like, okay, this vehicle gives me a 60-kilometer range, and he was from Cuttack. So I was like, so 60 is good enough. So he said, no, I cannot go to Puri. So I said, okay, there is another variant which gives you 80 kilometers. And then he says, okay, but I cannot come back. Okay. So the point is the customer was always looking for a reason to delay the journey. So what we thought of, that while the world is trying to solve the entire EV adoption with one lens, which is bigger batteries, which means higher range, more reliability to the consumer, and more adoption. Correct. That was the single lens where the world was evaluating the entire EV platform. We saw it differently. We saw that in India, per se, the EV, any vehicle adoption which happens comes from 2 to 3 things. Number one, does my uncle's nephew has the vehicle or not? Is somebody there to talk good about that vehicle or not? Number one. Number two, maybe you can call me a little older in this generation, but we grew up with the perspective that what is the resale value of the vehicle? Yes. We always had that discussion. Number three, what is the long-term operative cost of the vehicle? And operative cost does not mean cost. It means service record. So it is there or not there. So these were the main things. And what we thought, in order to do that, the best way possible would be, why don't we give a easy adoption of existing vehicles to electric vehicles rather than making that.
So essentially, are you saying you retrofit old two-wheelers to be electric? Is that what it is?
So essentially, yes, we retrofit existing two-wheelers into electric, but we give it 3 options to the consumer. And it's interesting to know. The first option is you can convert your petrol vehicle into electric with a battery which we manufacture. Okay. And this battery can be charged anytime, anywhere at your convenience. It can normal 5-amp sockets when you charge your laptop. So, number 2, you can convert into electric with a swappable battery. Okay. Where we have already integrated our tech with Sun Mobility and Battery Smart, by virtue of which you can choose the service provider as per your convenience, as per the network available in your city, and you can pay as you go. Okay. Third is very interesting, which you talked about earlier, is iHybrid, where you can convert into electric with a petrol engine as a backup, so that wherever you are, however you drive, wherever you are, just at a switch of a button, you are an electric vehicle or a petrol vehicle. So our philosophy is that consumer, when they are making a decision to buy a vehicle, they choose once, whether you want to do petrol or electric, and then live with that decision. Right. But with our vehicle, you make that choice every night.
God.
So, and just to add to that, we are the only company in the world with the iHybrid solution. We are the only company in India with a retrofit in swappable solution. While there are few other companies on pure play electric vehicle with a fixed battery.
So actually, this is very interesting. Now let me peel on it. First is, I get you a old vehicle. Let's say I have a Honda Activa, which is a petrol vehicle. You give me a choice to either go fully electric, electric with swappable, or electric with petrol as a hybrid. So what do? You remove the existing petrol engine continues to remain plus a battery and a motor that you put on top, or you also remove the petrol engine and put a different petrol engine from a size perspective.
In the iHybrid, the basic premise is we do not touch the old petrol vehicle.
Okay.
So your reliable ride, which you have trusted over years, continues as it is. Okay. The challenge was, and I'll give you a simile here. The challenge was essentially, if you recall, the train track, and there always used to be a pulley.
Yeah.
You pull the pulley, you choose the track.
Right.
So that is what we have designed. And so basically, we have a vehicle control unit. You switch the button, the current moves to petrol wiring side, or you choose the button, it moves to electrical. And we have a global patent for that. For that technology.
One of the 6 global patents, I understand.
So,
Good.
this one is essentially, we do not change the petrol engine at all. No changes at all. So basically, if your petrol engine was giving you a mileage of 25 km per liter, hypothetically speaking, even after retrofit, it continues the same. If your petrol engine could have been serviced at some shop next to your home, it can still be serviced. There is no difference at all. So what we have done, if you can just imagine a scooter, the left side is where the petrol engine comes. Yeah. And invariably, the scooter is an unbalanced vehicle. It tilts towards
to one side. Yes.
So we have added electric powertrain on the right. So we made the system more balanced, more stable. But your roadside mechanic, if I may call that, because typically people after 5-year-old generally goes to roadside mechanics for servicing. They need to work on the left side of the vehicle, wherein we will work on the right side of the vehicle.
Mechanical engineer that I am, I will always get down to how does it drive really. So in the petrol vehicle, you have gears mechanism which is moving the engine moves the gear system moves the wheels, and then you are also putting an electric based system, which typically used to be a hub motor based wheel, right? So here, what happens? Where is the integration?
So essentially, there are 2 things which you have asked for. One is for the gearless scooters, and one is for the geared vehicle.
Right.
So gearless scooters typically works on the belt system, which is on the on the left side of the vehicle. Yes. And I must remind you, I'm a CA, not an engineer. So you have to
you're doing a better job in engineering than I am.
So the belt moves on the left side. So essentially, the gear system does not interrupt the movement of the vehicle. However, what you talked about is a very intriguing point, especially for the geared vehicles. I grew up riding a Yamaha RX G, not hybrid. So we always used to have the gear on the left side.
Yes.
And sometimes when the gear, the engine is not starting, we used to push the vehicle and press the gear, and the gear used to clock, engage, and the wheel used to fire. We imagined this problem. So let's assume in a iHybrid, you are working on a electric powertrain, and suddenly by mistake, you press the gear. So the camshaft or the gears will get engaged, and the entire chain, just because of the sheer pressure, may break. So what we did is we designed a one-way clutch system for that, using the cycle as a methodology where, when you ride a cycle, when you are paddling,
it's one way.
Correct. So we use the one-way clutch to make the gear system of the vehicle, where again we have a
ratchet based system. It's ratchet forward.
So we applied for the patent for that. That is approved. But the motorcycles we will be launching after some time. We have launched scooters right now. The intent is, once we gain scale in scooters, we will go to motorcycles.
But essentially, when I, as a customer, I need to pick it's gearless scooters, or as we call it, some of the
scooties.
In it, of the old parlance, it is we call kinetic.
Yeah.
Kinetics.
Correct.
So this is what you can retrofit, so it becomes electric as well. But this is very interesting. And you're saying you have a patent on this. So
Correct.
why this iHybrid? Could have just called hybrid, right? So why that I? Is it like following the Apple of the you will try to do something like that in the industry or the previous iHybrid?
It's a very interesting point, and I'm very passionate about this. Let me explain it. So a hybrid system, the way it works, there are two types of hybrids. What we call it series hybrid or parallel hybrid, PHEVs or SUVs. I'll not go too much into this, but the way it works is that you start a system, petrol system, which will charge the battery and shift at an optimal gear ratio or an optimal speed to electric to enhance the mileage of the vehicle. So essentially, it becomes a range extender.
Yes.
Right? Our system does not work that. Our systems are two systems which are completely independent to each other. They do not at all intervene into operations of each other.
Working.
Where in hybrids don't work that. So hybrids, whether it's PHEV or SHEVs, they work together. Whether it's a strong hybrid or mild hybrid, they work together. Ours are totally independent. And I always use one example to solve this. Simply a statistics or probability issue. There are two systems that you have. And I'm not assigning weight to it, but the chances of it working is 50-50. Right. Because of reliability, you can say 10%, whatever, but 50-50. Now, if there are two systems which are closely working together, both have to work together in order to system to work.
Correct.
So the chances of success is 50% into 50%.
Correct.
In our system, if either works, you will work. So the chances of failure is 50% into 50%. So if statistically speaking, or by just going by the law of probability, iHybrid is the most reliable mode of commuting, even more reliable than petrol, electric, or hybrids. And that's why it's iHybrid.
But then tell me, I'm a customer. I have a why would I even come to you? My Honda Activa or Kinetic Honda.
Yeah.
Sorry. All of these are working. Just that I would have clocked, let's say, 15 years, 20 years. That. What is my buying proposition for me to come to you at all?
So your buying proposition is threefold. That's it. The industry per se is oversold on the TCO concept. So let me start with TCO.
While I'm very interesting, you're getting into a very interesting zone there.
So, I'm not a believer of TCO when it comes to consumer vehicles, but let's start with TCO.
Sure.
Typically what happens is petrol vehicles, especially when they have done a gearless vehicle, when they have done around 6 years, the mileage of the vehicle drops to in a range of 35 km per liter. Petrol prices at around 105, 102, interestingly gives you a mileage of 3 rupees per kilometer, give or take. In addition to that, petrol vehicle also gets a lot of service related things. For example, you have to change the engine oil, you have to clean the silencers, etc., etc. So per se operative cost of petrol two-wheelers will be in the range of 3 to 3.5 for a person who has maintained his vehicle or her vehicle well. Anybody who has misused it, it will be in between 3/4 to 4. That's the range. The moment you shift to electric powertrain, whether you have a petrol engine on standby or not, doesn't matter. As long as you are running on petrol electric powertrain, you get per operative kilometers at around 20 paisa.
Okay.
And if you are having a hybrid, which means even if I assign 8 paisa extra for the servicing of the petrol engine while electric is working, your cost is not more than 20 paisa per which means per kilometer you are saving around 3/4 on a hybrid and more than 3/4 on a electric. Now, per se, Indians, average running, for a B2C segment, roughly around 1,000 kilometers a month is what people do, give or take.
Yes.
So essentially, what you save per month basis is 3,250 to 3,500, give or take. If you are putting a system which costs you around 50,000, which our complete system costs, so virtually in the matter of 15 months, you have a complete payback of the system where we stand warranted of the product for 26 years. So what essentially for the consumer on a TCO basis, within 15 months, your vehicle or the system which you have input has completely paid for itself, while you run for additional, 17 or 18 months completely at a reduced cost. Number one. Number two, what happens is the vehicle cost has not deteriorated because your petrol engine stands as it is. So if your old vehicle was 20,000 rupees worth, hypothetically speaking, now with the new system, it is still 25,000 rupees. It's not less than 20,000 because the engine and the system works as it is. That's number two. This is on the TCO. The second thing, what happens is, as I was explaining earlier, that people, when they are shifting to electric, they actually have a challenge, multiple challenges. One of the things is, for lack of better word, I'm saying committing to a form factor which they have not seen around them. So there is an iota of doubt. What if something happens tomorrow? Because, you go from Belandur to Bomanhalli where my office is, and invariably sometime on the road, you will find one person towing a vehicle. So there has been some issues in the mind of the people. So iHybrid gives you that reliability because your time-tested vehicle is always there on the standby one. Number three, you don't have to come to us for service. Because for all the mechanical parts, you can go to anywhere in the market and test it out. And lastly, I would just see the drive feel. You feel far more safer in those metallic chassis or bodied vehicle than to plastic bodied ones.
Then just repeat them is great. I understand. I've used my trusted steel for 10 years, 15 years. And in Indian parlance, isa liya gadi ko.
Absolutely. We abuse, we don't use.
And then you now extending the life by using battery, but then I'm now adding more weight to the same vehicle, which means my efficiency of the petrol side is getting lesser, still lower, right? Wouldn't you say that will go against the entire proposition as well? Just asking, right?
No, it's a very valid question, and you are not wrong. So typically what happens is the GVW of the vehicle is weighed in a manner that it always takes 30 kgs as the delta on the existing GVW or the approved vehicle. So ARAI, which is the regulatory body, or the government allows us that 30 kgs only to be increased weight of the vehicle. We cannot go beyond it. So basically the way it works is the approved GVW of the vehicle, you can only add up to 10% of the weight, nothing more. So it was a challenge. We used Activas going up to 2010, and we have another 7 models when it comes to hybrid, and total 11 models when it comes to electric. So virtually we cover the entire gearless market. So it was challenged to ensure that the weight of the motor, a 2 kilowatt battery, everything is well within 25 kgs. But we managed.
And what is the speed that is achieved on the electric side?
60 kilometers, 60 km/h.
Just good.
And very interestingly, we had to work, to ensure that the torque of the petrol vehicle, when you ride the petrol vehicle, I'll give you a parlance. Okay, when I ride my white vehicle, it takes me 10 minutes to adjust to the accelerator and brake.
Right.
Now, assume that a person who can just switch over between, the two, and suddenly if they have to switch over, keep aligning themselves, it's very challenging.
Which is figure.
Yeah. So that's why we pay a lot of attention to ensure that the torque of the two vehicles, which is 0 to 40 in 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds, should match so that the feel is not bad.
Viewers, for those of you who want to know more about this, go to the Green Tiger website. We'll provide the link below. And make sure you see the videos that Ashish and his team has put up as far as this very interesting iHybrid concept. So Ashish, thank you so much. And to our audience out there, this is where we end part 1 of our conversation with Ashish, founder of Green Tiger. Till we get back to you with part 2, keep watching, keep sharing, keep liking Maxson Mobility.